How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. The Bengals, they lost this one to the Steelers, to say the very least. And if I would tell you 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles, 1 loss, Joe Burrow sacked 7 times. If I were to tell you the Bengals lost because they missed an extra point and because they missed a chip shot field goal in overtime, you'd probably say I'm crazy. But that's exactly what ended up being the end-all be-all in this football game, as the Bengals lose in overtime to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now you think about it, last thing you wonder is 2020, last drive of the game for the Steelers. Bengals, they blitz, they go all out, they play press, they break the play up. It's second down, third and 10, second and 10. You think, all right, smart play. Force Trubisky to throw the ball. He'll make a mistake. And then the very next play, the Bengals drop back, give these guys about 10 yards of separation. Easy completion. Was it Freiermuth? 10 yards, puts him in field goal range. They kick the chip shot. I wonder, or not chip shot, wasn't chip shot by any stretch of the imagination, but put him in a lot better field goal position. Kind of wonder what they had going on there. I don't want to question it too much besides that, because when you turn the ball over 5 times in a football game and your defense manages to still give up 13 points in a football game, you have to tip your hat off to the way they played. Incredible. Najee Harris averaged 2.3 yards per carry. They was all over Trubisky, or they was all over and containing Trubisky, we should say, throughout this game. And again, to be put in a position to go out there and just unexpectedly, as we know, come onto the field after a turnover or a mistake by the offense and try to bail them out. And we've seen them do that multiple times in this game. We've seen them do that last year, make the big stops when they have to make the big stops. They did it again time and time in this football game to keep the Bengals in the game. It is just unfortunate that the way things turned out was we had chance after chance at the end of this football game where touchdown passes were dropped. They finally did capitalize on one. Then all they had to do was kick the extra point. Yeah, it was a long snapper change. Who would have thought? You know it's important. The long snapper placeholder connection's huge, but you always get that feeling after the first one. You missed the first one, you got them question marks going through the kicker's head on a second one, and that's where you want to see them play as aggressive as possible and not even play for the chip shot field goal there, especially when you've seen the Bengals start to move the ball more effectively down the field. And you start to, this is the thing about a Steelers-Bengals game, is that you go into the game, you love the rivalry, you love the physicality, but you're also just terrified of who you're going to lose on the field. You've seen TJ Watt, you've seen Cam Hayward both walk off the field in this game, and you've seen the difference, to say the very least. And I think that's a bright spot. You look at this game, you say you take off. We have to keep in mind this Pittsburgh Steelers defense led the league in sacks last year. They're a dominant defense when it comes to getting to the quarterback. Bengals fresh offensive line, so you don't want to get too worried about the offensive line from that standpoint, because you've seen the way this offense played when they weren't on the field. They was more effective. They had time to throw the football. They was making plays, and I think that's going to be more representative of this team throughout the season. So we have that to look forward to here, even with an absolute roller coaster of a loss here for the Bengals. But speaking of the injuries, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins off the field. Worry about those guys end of the game. Mixon was having a little difficulty there as well. Gotta make sure those guys stay out. That's three or four big playmakers out there. So we'll see what comes out of those guys. Hopefully, like Higgins in a concussion protocol, we'll see what happens there. But Chase still played effective. We've still seen other guys step up in this game for the Bengals. Hayden Hurst, I still think this guy's got to be a playmaker for this team. And we've seen him make some plays early. For the first game playing together, you have to keep that in mind here. First game, the Bengals really played. The starters played together in live action. There's no preseason. That's the thing about this first half. Did they start slow? Absolutely. Was this concern? Sure. But you think you did not have any preseason reps. Meanwhile, the Steelers offense had a chance to play throughout the preseason. You had the quarterback battle. You had these guys trying to get as many reps as possible. And had a little bit more chance to get things together. To see the way this defense still locked things down. I don't remember hearing Mike Hilton's name. For a second, I questioned if he was playing until overtime. The way he clamped down those guys in a slot, the defense played really well. It's a really tough one to see the Bengals lose when you have that many opportunities to win this football game. But at the same time, really shows the resiliency. Because did they deserve to win a football game? You turn the ball over 5 times, you miss the extra. No. Just go down the list of the issues they had in this game, but to stay in this game, to stay poised, to have the resiliency, it's just, again, a testament and a representation of how confident this bunch is and how well they do play under pressure or when the time comes to make these big stops. So again, it's a loss. Am I panicking about the Bengals losing? Absolutely not. 16 more games this season. They played a team where if they get their offense figured out, and a Pittsburgh Steelers team that's destined to make playoffs with that defense if they stay healthy. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.